just suck it in.
You must be drinking a lot of coffee.
Not a lot of coffee because I get my kick from the energy of our followers. So my coffee comes from
the followers.
Yes.
And I can see that energy is really building. Now, you've been in the news recently because you were left out of a debate. What happened?
So we heard that it was going to be a presidential debate. And we're excited about it because it was an opportunity to meet with the big players in the game, both young and old. And we're prepared for it. As a matter of fact, we had rumors that there were attempts to break it into two so that I won't have to confront people I call it big owners. But somehow some influence came in and I was completely excluded. They claimed first that it was a decision made based on character. And I started asking them, okay, who here has a problem with character between the guy who cannot enter the US and the one who just came from the US? Who has character between the president of the country who's got a lot of baggage with regards to performance and efficiency and clarity, and these young persons who know what they want for the country, who are loaded as we call it here? And then they shifted to say, oh, we didn't have enough funding for it, that's why we can't take everybody. But it turned out that this was just so that debate would not create a lot of problems, because they tried to reach out to me to see if I could tone down a little bit. And I said to them, our leaders are tone deaf, and we have to go after the eardrums at the debates. Yes.
Talking about toning down a little so you can blend with what we have you ever given that a thought?
No.
Or you want to be like me, always facing them?
I don't envy you, but I like what you do, and I think every society, every facet of our life is in need of a daddy freeze. Politically, religiously, legally, socially, culturally, and I've tried to do a little bit of everything, and a lot of controversy that's trailed my own life as well. Even this campaign, going to palaces where I was tear gassed for not doing what people expect you to do when you get to a palace, because I was maltreated I was kept waiting for a long time, and nobody has ever heard that before. It's like, who are you? How dare you? But now people are getting used to it. I have been to a situation where soldiers were beating people on the streets, and I intervened, and everybody thought I was crazy. But I've been in those conditions and positions before where I wish somebody could intervene to save me, and I had to risk it. So that's why we can't afford to tone down. We need to tune up our activism. We need to tune up our consciousness so that we can meet, we can put the country on a path of that progress and that it desires. It deserves. So there's no toning down. I can only hope that people everybody will be like us at this time. Be like that freeze somewhere who is speaking truth to power.
Now there's another debate that's supposed to be in January. What date is it, and are you participating this time?
It's January 19th. That's supposed to be the presidential debate. We lost out of the vice presidential debate, and it's exactly the reason why they didn't want us to participate. They want Nigerians to be presented with what we call fait accompli, only two candidates of the two major political parties. And they did it so well with the people they chose as vice presidential candidates to match up with PDP or APC candidates. And by the time they were done, everybody was like, oh, these young persons are not prepared yet. But if our candidate had been there, it would have changed the narrative. And that's what we're about to do. But in this particular instance, we actually have gone to court to force them to include us in that debate.
Do you see yourself getting victory from the courts?
I don't know, but my hope is that the courts are a place where people can get justice, and they have a duty to do justice.
Yes.
But I know this is political, and what will eventually make them do what is right is political pressure. Even the courts, do justice sometimes based on social justice clamors.
I want to ask you a question. Every single government,
Yes.
I was brought to Nigeria as a 3-year-old in 1979.
Wow.
And every single government between 1979 and now has tried to and promised to fix electricity,
Yes.
power.
Yes.
Do you think you can fix it?
I can.
In how many years?
I'll do it in 2.5 years.
2.5 years.
Yes, I will at least hook over 60 to 70 million people to the national grid in 2.5 years. And this is how I do it. The same way they did in Egypt recently. Between Egypt and Germany, Siemens in Germany, they increased their electricity supply by 14,500 megawatts of electricity. It's a mix, solar, gas, hydro, and they spent $7.2 billion to do it. And all those people, that is from December 2016 till about middle of 2018. And all the 40 million people are already hooked now. And we spent here $16 billion generating darkness. They spent $7.2 billion generating electricity for 40 million people. So at the rate at which they did it for Nigeria, because it's probably cheaper labor here, we have better opportunities here, because people are willing to work, we can do actually about 30,000 megawatts. But our promise for 2.5 years is 24,000 megawatts of electricity, which will light up over 50 to 60 million households.
You spoke about gas.
Yes.
And that's the bane of the southwest part of Nigeria. Gas is still being flared as we speak.
In Niger Delta, everywhere.
What can be done to curb that wastage, in your opinion?
Yes, you see, gas that is being flared is gas that is polluting the environment. Gas that is captured and converted to liquid gas. It's a gas that can provide energy. What we need to do is to capture the gas and turn them into kinetic energy. Let me just use that freely and use it to generate electricity. One thing that has not even happened in Nigeria, which has happened everywhere else, is that there has not been gas pipelines to homes, just like we have electricity.
In Europe,
In Europe, everywhere else is having it. We're still rolling around cylinders. And that in itself is a huge source of revenue. It's a huge source of jobs for people, because to hook up gas pipelines to about 100 million homes in Nigeria, you provide nothing less than 5 million jobs to people. And people will be fixing them when there is a problem. We have 9-point-something billion cubic feet of gas in Ogoni land alone. And right now it's being flared. We need to capture it, use it for, run our turbines and use it to generate electricity. But we need to clean up Ogoni land first, because we've just been paying lip service. What I would say to you, since 1979, and this gives credence to what I say, we have not had leaders that are critical thinkers. This is the best Nigeria that the leaders since 1979 can give to you. Probably Nigeria was better than this in 1979. I went to Ado Ekiti on Sunday. It took us an hour and a half to get from Akure to Ado Ekiti. When I went there in 1986, it was 30 minutes drive. So that tells you where we've gone. We have been going in reverse direction.
We've been hustling backwards.
In a free fall. And that has to stop. Now that's why we're here.
Now, you're young, and with youth comes futuristic thinking. Globally, fossil fuels are being downplayed and alternative energy is being emphasized. Have you begun thinking of that with regards to the future?
Absolutely. I spoke on Channels TV a few days ago, and I said, I'm from Niger Delta region, and I keep telling my brothers and sisters there, the nice Niger Delta region, so to speak, might be northern Nigeria, because of technology. So, assuming all of our solar energy power is coming from Sokoto, Jigawa, Kebbi, and Adamawa and Zamfara, where do you think we'll pay attention to? The lifespan of fossil fuel is not more than another 20 years. I'm being
Maximum.
generous.
Yeah,
Yes.
maximum.
Because Japanese car makers are making electricity cars, they're making solar powered cars. They're using technology freely. We now have shale oil. It's another technology in getting oil from the bottom of the sea that don't require you coming to Nigeria. So pretty soon nobody's going to buy Nigerian oil and nobody has the capacity to drink oil. So you better be prepared. And I advise everybody who is relying heavily on oil to start seeking knowledge, because the world is going to be driven by knowledge-based economic systems going forward. And you look at all the companies that are doing the best, even in stock markets around the world, they're tech-based companies. You know, you have Apple, you have Amazon.
Do you see any tech giant emerging from Nigeria?
Absolutely. You know, not only do I see tech giants, emerging from Nigeria, I see, tech genius emerging from Nigeria. There are a lot of young people that, if they just have a little opportunity, they will do wonders. I've seen it happen with so many of them before. I'm in a tech community here in the country, and without you knowing, there is an eBay in Nigeria. There is a PayPal in Nigeria already. You know, so you're talking about 200 million people. The population of the U.S. is just 320 million people, or thereabout. Nigeria is more than half the population of the U.S. If you have 200 million people who are thinking creatively, you can have a lot of tech people come out of the place. Already, they've demonstrated it in music, movies. So you can imagine one day, some guy is going to be the next Facebook Mark Zuckerberg.
Out of Nigeria.
Yes.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to hit a song. I've got KJ here, and when we come back, it's still Omoyele Sowore and I right here. Stick around, Lagos. Stop. Nice. I wanted to see, are you sure your fingers were not getting in the way?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, you tried.
Thank you.
Now there's one more left. Ogasho, what do you really want me to? I've asked you my own set of questions that have been bugging my mind. All right, it is 96.9 Cool FM, still hanging out with Omoyele Sowore, a gentleman I absolutely find fascinating, especially because we're about the same age. I don't think he's more than 10 years older than me, so he sees a Nigeria I see. I don't know if I could say the same
Same prism, you know.
about our ancestors, but at least for us, we're looking in the same direction. The pity is, a lot of our celebs are aligning themselves. I've seen them align themselves with pastors in the past. There was this guy, Williams, who had this whole UN joke around him. I remember when I came out to fight tithing. He came out releasing some captions saying, pay your tithe, pay your tithe. So I asked him, I said, who do you pay tithe to UN?
Yeah.
You know? So
we
they were
paying tithes to the UN forever.
So I could see them aligning with the forces of religion because they're gonna get stages to perform. Look at that comedian, for instance, that I don't know what his name is. There was one Shango festival held earlier on in December. They say his church, all I saw was all sorts of idols, and he was there insulting me, teaming up with the religious leaders because of the opportunity the religion would create for them to have stages to. Now I see this same alliance
happening politically.
in politics. How are you reacting to this?
Oh no, a lot of our supporters are actually pissed with them. That because when we started, we reached out to a lot of people you call celebs. Because my own understanding of celebrities are that they derive their legitimacy and their existence from the public. And whenever the public interest is at stake, they side with the public. But here, they derive their legitimacy from the public, but they derive their existence from the oppressors. And it's very, very shameful. And, I remember meeting Aporo at the airport. One day I saw him, I said, Aporo, can I talk to you? He was very, he said things that were demeaning to me, because I remember when he was still in Okokomaiko, I sent a reporter.
I think he's still there.
Yeah, but I sent a reporter.
He might have moved out, but I think mentally he's still
I sent
there.
a reporter to him because I really liked his, his countenance and demeanor as a comedian. Because I'm always looking for a person like Chris Rock in Nigeria who's like, he can say anything. And he looked down on me. He's like, he was looking at me like I was dead. And so many of them, we reached out to them, like, oh, do you have something for us? Do you have something for us? And I've said to them, there's a thing that Yoruba say that, a fish is only a fish if there's water. And that which is that water can dry off your fish one day and you'll be gone. And what's the water, or who's water, is just these young people who are supporting you. They are the people from whom you derive your celebrity status.
Yes.
But they are the same people who are unemployed. They are the same people who are homeless. They are people who are addicted to drugs because things are hard for them. They are the ones who can get to their destinations because our roads are bad. They're the ones who don't have opportunity to get admission because they don't have connection. But you are there, you are playing your opportunistic game, and then you come and do ha-ha on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook. So it's a shame that these celebrities, also young people, have sold their soul to the political establishment, and they must be told the truth. Part of the speaking truth to power has to do with celebrities. We did it when we were younger, during Abiola's time. Every musician that sang for Abacha did not survive. Pretty much. I remember Shino Peters, Chris Esenigboku in those days. The moment they collected their Abacha loot, everybody left them. And I think people must be warned that a celebrity status is going on as long as you are being celebrated.
Word. Okay, rounding off now, because I know you've got quite a tight schedule. Let's talk about funding.
Yeah.
How are you being funded, and what are you also looking at with regards to funding?
So we have two ways of getting funding. We have GoFundMe, which is a crowdsourcing platform that's based in the US, but anybody can actually contribute through GoFundMe.
And how are the people contributing?
Good, very good.
Oh, wow.
We've reached almost $116,000 from people who have been contributing consistently. We've actually received more contributions since we were denied a place on the campaign.
People were more sympathetic.
Yeah, and so there's a lot. Every night people contribute, every day people contribute. And also we have a Nigerian account with Zenith Bank. It's account number 100602387, where people have been making contributions. Between those two accounts, GoFundMe and Zenith Bank account, we've received almost 90 million naira. Our goal is actually to reach 400 million, we're looking for 400 Nigerians who can afford to contribute $1 million naira each to the campaign. Because if you can have a Nigerian presidential candidate or a president who is not controlled by cabals and godfathers and godmothers, goddaughters and godsons, you will not have the burden of governance that we have now, because it's a free ride for the president. I know how to step on toes. That's why I'm not looking for godfather support. As I usually tell people, I'm an equal opportunity offender. Yes, just like you do.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Omoyele Sowore. I'm sure we're going to have him soon, one of these days again. We're looking forward to the debate in
January 19th, yes.
I want to see what is going to wind out of that.
Yes.
Thank you so much for coming around. 96.9 CoolFm, a quick break, and we'll be back at you. Whatever you do, don't you dare touch it.